morning, team. As a dad, you need to be fit, strong, and capable. But most dads are neglecting one of the most important parts of that, mobility. Your ability to get down, play with your kids, move around, pain-free. This morning, we've got 20 minutes to fix that. 5 different movements, 4 rounds of human movement, getting down on the floor, opening things up so that you feel better. But this is the 5 a.m. Squat Club. It's more than just a workout. This is your full morning routine to make sure that your fitness and your lives are going forward. 2 minutes of breath work and mental reps, prime the body, move with intensity, although today we're bringing it down, and then we take action on our goals every single day. If you're ready, let's go. All right, step 1 before we start moving this morning is we call priming the mind. We get into a squat, so get your feet underneath your hips, heels planted on the floor, and if you feel like you're gonna fall over backwards or the heels are gonna lift up, just go ahead and grab yourself a counterbalance, maybe a weight, maybe a critter. And while we're here, we're gonna breathe and set our intention for the day. So first thing is that it's a 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale, and a 4-second hold. Follow that breathing. It'll calm the mind, calm the breath while we go through our mental reps. First mental rep is I am responsible. It just means I'm gonna take action, whether it's fixing my fitness, whether it's fixing my life, nobody else is gonna do it for me, it's on me. Next is I will make time between stimulus and response, right? And if I can focus on starting my day with this mindset, then hopefully I will be less snappy at the people around me when things go awry. Can I take a moment? Next is I have all I need to succeed today, and we'll focus on progress over perfection. If I'm gonna move towards something, I better believe that it's possible. And if you think that you don't have the tools to make progress, then you're not going to. So think about, I can take the step today and I can build on that progress over perfection. And then the last one is I choose to focus on some positive, on some gratitude, on what I am grateful for, as opposed to just looking at the things that are wrong and bad. Find that balance, but still drive forward. All right, mindset primed, breath set, let's go. Okay, so even though today is our active recovery day and we're gonna focus on low intensity, moving through some good positions, we're still gonna start up the heart. We're still gonna start up the body by getting a little bit of blood flowing, and that looks like hands on the floor, lay yourself down fully, and then just get it back up, and you can take a hop and clap overhead just to celebrate that you've given yourself the opportunity to make progress this morning, that you have given yourself the discipline to get up early and to move. And not only to move, if you've been here before, to take action on your most important goals, the things that aren't getting the attention that they deserve, the ones that you'll look back on someday and say, I wish I would have done that. We do it every day together if you just join us. So this morning is our active recovery. We've got 5 different movements, 20 minutes. They're all gonna be, as I said, lower intensity, but not necessarily the easiest ones, as they do require some flexibility and mobility. And that's what we're gonna be doing, building that this morning. Bringing the intensity down a little bit so that our body is improving and so that we can get back to intensity tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So we're just lubing up the body here so that when we get into our active recovery session, we feel a little bit better, right? Let's say if we didn't do this, it would take one of the first 4 rounds to get into, right? The body would take a few minutes to get into better positions, whereas if we get in just a couple minutes like this of movement first, the body is ready to get into our session right away. So a few more burpees here. Hopefully the heart rate has come up a little bit. The body's starting to feel a little bit warmer. And there we go. So all you're gonna need for today's session is a pull-up bar and say potentially a dumbbell if you find the Paleo squat uncomfortable. So let's just take a peek at that. You can see top left, Paleo squat. Top right is a downward dog to upward dog cycle, and I'm going to talk you through these while we go. Bottom left is a tabletop. You can go through reps, down and up. And then the bottom right is called a Shin Box. That's a new one from Strength Side. Strength Side's fantastic if you're looking for mobility, by the way. And we've got a dead hang as well. So all you're going to need to do is set up that pull-up bar if you got one. And then we'll get into it. Once again, if you struggle with the paleo squat, you know, a dumbbell is going to be a nice counterbalance or a chair or something. But aside from that, and maybe like a yoga block if you got one, just to get into that floor position. And we're doing it. Let's do our quick re-intro. As a father, you want to be fit and strong. But if you're not mobile and capable, if you can't get on and off the floor, play with your kids, what's the point? This morning, 20 minutes, 5 movements, active recovery, mobility, whatever you want to call it, fix your body. Let's give it a go. All right, so movements are up there on the screen. We've got 5 different movements, 4 rounds. All you're going to need is a pull-up bar here. 5 movements are paleo squat, just down in a passive squat. If you need something to hold on to because you're going to fall backwards, grab that. Movement number 2 is a tabletop. We're just going to get into a crab position, drive the hips up to a straight line, up and down, or hold it the whole time. The Shin Box, where we're sitting, one or both knees bent, feet by the body. We'll do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. We've got a dead hang, which you can keep your feet on the floor for if you need. And then we've got a cycle of downward dog to upward dog. So I'll talk about that more as we go. Make sure that there are some tips that we can follow along with. But what we got, 20 minutes, starting on that paleo squat, tunes, and you can't see that. Turn that for a second. Okay, let's do it. 10 seconds, starts in the paleo squat, feet underneath the hips, come on down, 3, 2, 1, go ahead. So your focus here is getting your dog out of the way, is getting those heels planted, right? That's step 1. If the heels want to lift, then that is your main priority, to either grab onto something stationary like a chair or a table or a door frame and get those heels down. Another option for that would just be, counterbalance out in front. I just drew a line on the floor there. And if needed, you could, like I could hold on to something, as I was saying, like a door frame there. From there, your next focus is trying to get those arches off the ground, right? Making sure that the knees aren't collapsing in, but that we're keeping the knees open and maintaining the arch in the foot. All right, we're moving on here to our tabletop. We got 3 more rounds after, don't worry. 3, 2, 1. So from this crab position, you're on your hands and your feet. You walk the feet out a little bit and drive the hips up to the ceiling. You can keep it there or do some cycles down and up. What we're mainly focusing on here is opening up the hips and opening up the shoulders. So you'll notice if I relax down, the shoulders come forward, whereas if I pull them back and press up, I can open up the chest and shoulders and the hips. So these are both positions or both openings that we need more and more as humans, because we sit, close the hips to the desk, drop our shoulders forward to the desk or the phone or whatever. And this is a fantastic way to counteract that. Nice active opening of the hips and the shoulders. So press up and breathe. And then our next one is the Shin Box. All right, we're gonna sit on the floor. We're gonna bring one heel into the crotch and then the other heel out to the side, trying to bring both heels right into the body. If you need, you could elevate your butt. You could sit on a block or some bumper plates or something to make this a little bit easier. And if this is not challenging, you could go and drop the chest over alternating legs. Oh, that side's gonna be hard. And then at 30 seconds, we'll switch sides. So go ahead and switch. And you're probably gonna notice that one side is easier than the other. So what I'm gonna suggest and what I'm gonna do on subsequent rounds here is spend more time on the other side. Maybe 40 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on the other. Once again, if this doesn't feel like anything, go ahead and drop the chest over the knee that has the foot at your butt. All right, and then we're moving on to our dead hang. First round, go ahead. So you can obviously just dead hang, lift the feet off the ground and hang, or keep the feet on the ground and open up the shoulders and the chest by keeping the feet behind you a little bit and pushing through. So both are good options. The goal here is to open up the thoracic spine, create some extension or some lift of the upper back. Right? Same concept as the tabletop, 30 seconds. We spend a lot of time looking down and dropping our shoulders and hunching forward. And this is an opportunity to counteract that a little bit by opening up the shoulders, opening up the upper back, opening up the lungs and the chest to become more upright, improve that posture. 10 seconds, we're going downward dog to upward dog, cycling. 5, 3, 2, 1. You can start yourself in a plank and then push the hips up towards the ceiling. You can pedal the feet out, trying to get the heels down to the ground. And then from there, shift the weight forward, flip the feet over, drop the hips a little bit, but squeeze the butt and abs and push away from the floor. Take a big breath there, squeeze the butt hard, flip the feet over, push the hips up to the ceiling. And you're thinking about bringing your head and chest back towards your knees. Take a full breath there, you can pedal it out. Let the chest come back forward, flip the feet, push up into the floor. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the abs, and then reverse it again. You can do these faster if you want and cycle through it quicker. Personally, I like to take a second in each one. All right, so this is the end of round one. We're going back to our paleo squat in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So hanging out here and breathing. If this is uncomfortable, once again, grab a counterbalance in the form of a dumbbell or a dog. If this is easy, what you could do is cycle between this passive position and an active squat where you bring the chest up a little bit, and then passive, and then active. And if you really wanted to make it even more challenging, what you could do is shift over to one side, take a foot off the ground, bring it back in, shift over to the other side, take a foot off the ground, and mess around with that. It's just going to increase the intensity a little bit, increase your range of motion, your control. But just sitting here and focusing on maintaining the arches in your feet and keeping the knees out in line with the feet is fantastic. Right? What you want to avoid is the old foot turn out, knees in business. I struggle to do that. All right, we're going back to our tabletop. 3, 2, 1. So back on the hands and feet, pushing those hips up to the ceiling and keeping the shoulders pulled apart. Opening the shoulders, opening up the hips. Just breathe. I'm gonna see if we can just keep the hips open the whole time here. Keep pushing into the floor with the feet and with the hands. All right, we're opening the shoulders and the hips, counteracting the 21st century human posture. Not natural when we stare at screens all day, drop our head to our computers or whatever. 20 seconds left. Keep squeezing the butt, keep pressing into the floor with the shoulders. You can go side to side a little bit and get some more reps up and down. Next, we're going back to our Shin Box. So sitting on the floor, you could be surprised at how many people find that really challenging. 3, 2, 1. All right, so one heel is in the crotch, one heel is lined up with your butt cheek on the outside, and you're sitting tall. And if you want more, you can hinge over to that bent knee on the heel to butt side. The other side shouldn't feel like a whole lot. Or you can just stay upright, and even just closing up that hip is good. If you want, you could shift. You could go back and forth. That's 30, so you could switch sides. But you could go back and forth here. And you can do it without using your hands as well. Shit is gonna build good control, body awareness, all the above. 15 seconds. Another 10 seconds, we're going to our hang, second round. We're flying through this. 3, 2, 1. Back on the bar or the beam or the tree branch. Wherever you hang. Just focus on breathing. Long, deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Once again, if you need to keep your feet on the ground and push the chest through to open up, that is also a great option. But if you want to get a little bit of weight in the hands, work on the grip strength, feel free to fully dead hang. That's 30 seconds. Still focusing on arms in line with the body or head and chest through the arms. And breathe. Long, deep breaths. 20 seconds left. We're going upward to downward dog next, and that'll be halfway through. 10 seconds. You do this once a week, the body will feel fantastic. You can do it more if you need. 3, 2, 1. Back to up and down dog. Once again, you can start in that plank. Send the hips up and back. Pedal out the feet. Try to put the heels down on the floor. Get the hamstrings stretched. And then back to the upward dog. Top of the feet down. Chest open. Push away. Squeeze that butt in the upward dog. And then just keep cycling. Reverse that. Drop the knees, flip the feet, push up, squeeze the butt. Shoulders open. Halfway. This will be the end of the second round. Back to our paleo squat in 15 seconds. 10. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. All right, round 3. Back to the paleo squat. So we should have a good idea of which of these positions work easily for us and which ones we need to fight for. If you're feeling pretty good, just maintain those. If you need a little bit more, just try to increase the intensity a little bit or increase the amount that you're working. Right, so I can be passive in this position and get some benefit, depending on who I am, obviously. Or if I wanted more benefit, I drive the elbows in, pull the chest up, and work on that position, maybe even just cycling it. But there's always a higher option if you need more. I think a lot of us, this is probably a pretty good challenge for 4 sets of 1 minute, and if so, fantastic. All right, tabletop is in 10. You like active recovery days, don't you? Get down on the floor a lot. All right, tabletop, 3, 2, 1. Back onto the hands and feet, shoving those hips up. Once again, you can hold or cycle hips down and up, which is just going to give you a little bit more, call it control of the hip extension. Whereas I like holding because it tests my focus. You can notice when you unsqueeze the butt or when you leave it a little bit, and how fast, how quickly can you come back? Can you recognize that I'm not squeezing anymore and squeeze? The butt should be burning a little bit, should feel a little bit of a pump happening. Make sure it's both sides. If you want to make this harder, you could always stick out a leg. Just making sure the hips are staying nice and straight. One straight line. Keep pushing them up. Keep counteracting those chairs we spend so much time in. All right, back to the Shin Box. 3, 2, 1. Table. Stop it. You, Doug. Definitely need a dog for active recovery day so they can punch you in the crotch. Thanks, doggy. You are cute. And active recovery days are easier to pet you, but you did just punch me in my crotch. You're so cute. Hey, don't you bite me. Push this dog and she bites you. That's 30 if you're doing half and half. I'm doing more on the other side, so don't necessarily follow me unless you want to do that same thing. I am tighter with my left leg out in front here for sure. I'm going to switch that again, and then we are going to our hang in 10. All right, third hang. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, you can mix it up with the grip if you want. I'm going to go chin up grip here or palms facing back. But you can do any kind of grip. You'll notice if you haven't done this one before and you do, it's probably a little bit tighter through the biceps, shoulders. Probably just means we need to do this one more. And if you're finding extra tension there, there's probably more benefit to be had. Right? If you think about in general the things that you are weakest at or tightest with or have the least capacity with, those are the biggest areas of improvement. That's where the most bang for buck can be had. You can put in the least amount of time and get the most results from. If you work on the things that you are best at, there is far less room for improvement and you're going to put in more work to get less results. Right? If you think about the 80-20 principle, I'm going to keep talking about that. All right, upward dog, downward dog. So back to the push-up position. Go ahead, hips up and then hips forward and down. Right? If you think about the 80-20 principle or Pareto's principle, the work required to get the first 80% of any goal or any task takes 20% of the work. And then the last 20% of the goal takes 80% of the work. So just think, if you've got an area of weakness, be it like a strength weakness or mobility weakness or whatever, then you're going to be able to get a lot of bang for buck with a little bit of work. Right? Until you get to a place where you have 80% of the capacity, right? You're pretty good at that thing already. Getting there is pretty easy. Getting past there is hard, right? Getting that last 20% is 80% of the work. Becoming a professional at something is all the work at the end. But all right, we are back to our paleo squat, last round. But continuing on that topic, if we're going through this and you notice that one of these is far harder than the others, then, do 2 minutes of that one. Sub out the one that you're really good at. And that goes for everything. If you're going through your workouts or your life and you have the choice between putting some time into something that you're really good at or something that you're bad at, if the goal is well-roundedness, obviously if you've got a specific business or a specific goal, like get really good at that thing, become the best in the world at that one thing. I'm not saying don't do that. But when it comes to, physical capacity, general fitness, attack your weaknesses, right? Attack those areas of opportunity because the bang for buck that you can get from those places, those movements, those exercises it far outweighs the ones that you're already good at. All right, we're going tabletop. 3, 2, 1, back on the hands and feet, and hips are coming up. So obviously, this is not one of those channels where the title says no talking, no repeats. I'm going to talk to you guys. We're going to talk movement. We're going to talk philosophy. So this is not one of those places where you kind of just turn on your music and watch the smiling, happy, dancy fitness person on the video. It's a little bit more than that. Right? We're here together to make progress. I'll share what I know. And hopefully we'll do it together. This is helpful, dog. This is a tabletop. You're putting the thing on the tabletop, aren't you? You missed us yesterday. 20 seconds. Wait, go get it. Go get it. Go get your toy. Where'd it go? 10 seconds. Shin Box is next. This is our last round. Butt's burning a little bit. All right. Last Shin Box. 3, 2, 1. Get a little bit of rocking here. I'm going to do a little bit of forwards, backwards, maybe a few reps per side. Oh, that side's so much tighter. You can switch, or you can stay on one side. As I've said before, try to identify where the tension is, where your weaknesses are, and spend more time on those things. Right? It applies to your life as well. If there's a skill that you are weak at, whether it's communicating with your family, whether it's time management, whether it's whatever it is, do that thing. Right? Don't neglect it, or outsource it if you can. Right? There's another maybe better way to do it. Outsource it so you don't even have to do it, so you can spend time on the things that you're good at that you can add value with. All right, last hang. We are almost done there, team. You should feel pretty good here. And go ahead, last hang. Yeah, the body should be starting to feel pretty loose, warm enough that if you decided you want to go do a workout right now, you could feel pretty good doing it. But at the same time, not beat up, right? You're not feeling crushed. We're feeling warm, but pretty good. The body's feeling loose, feeling a little bit less stiff, a little younger maybe. That's the goal of the active recovery session. Because every other day of the week, we're going to push the intensity a little bit more with a different workout. 20 seconds on the hang. Get that chest through, arms through, or head and chest through, excuse me. Keep breathing. 10 seconds. We're going to our last upward to downward dog cycle here. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Last one. What am I? Downward dog. Flip the feet. Press up. Upward dog. Cycle this for the minute. And then we're done. And you could always take this as a warm-up. Say you missed a workout this week and you're going to take this day as a workout day. You could use this as your prep, your warm-up for it. You could use this any day as a warm-up if you've got extra time. Great way to make the body feel a little better for the workout, but also for afterwards. Right? If you can do this consistency, you can build that flexibility and mobility permanently, as opposed to just the benefits that we'll see today. 3, 2, 1. And there it is. Fantastic work. This is the type of thing that a lot of guys who train skip because it's boring, it's not sexy. But the benefit that you get from this, right? I'm not dripping sweat. The benefit you get from this helps each one of those other workouts. So if you want to train consistently with intensity, take care of your body. Hit the thumbs up button and join us tomorrow. Great job. Ooh, how we feeling? Feels pretty nice, huh? All right, we're gonna take a moment, get clear, and chill it out. Good job. All right. So obviously we don't need a whole bunch of stretching after today's session. So I'm gonna give you a couple options just for positions that you might want to spend some time in. One is just gonna be a cross, and same theme as today. Find the one that's uncomfortable, find the one that's awkward. I'm just doing a cross-legged here. You can't see me because the dog is there. One leg under, one leg over. And I'm gonna switch. You could do any of the stretches that we normally do, right? You could do some sort of quad stretch if they're tight. You could even do like a child's pose, sitting on the shins and drop in the chest to open up the low back a little bit. But we don't need a whole lot of that. You should be feeling pretty mobile and pretty good by now. So we'll just breathe for a moment and talk quickly about this idea that, and this is probably one for me because I would skip these in the past, right? I would tend towards the more intense, heavier, more exciting workouts, call it, and skip these ones. But as I'm getting older and a little bit more stiff, this becomes more and more important. So don't neglect this one. Join us, stay with us. But remember, this is not just your workout. This is ideally, if we are taking it seriously, we're using this whole system as a way to build up towards our goals as well. So it is 5:30 a.m. right now, and ideally I'm not going to run off and tackle my fires for the day. Ideally, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to take an hour and do the task or the one action that if I do over and over again, I reach whatever goal that I'm aiming for. And that's what we call our, of course, button's not going to work. We call our homework section or hour of action, where you are able to carve out that time from 5:30 to 6:30. The family is still sleeping. Do an hour. And if you do that hour every day, and I know that, if you've been here, you've heard this over and over again, it happens. And, you can listen to me saying this over and over again. If you never take action, it's not going to. But if you do, you just follow the system and do 1 hour every day. You'd be amazed at how much you can build up in terms of progress there. So I got a quick clip of a cow move yesterday with my daughter. The rams and the cows just going into their next paddock. We've had a pretty good growing season so far. The grass is doing pretty well. There's a good deal of clover and alfalfa where they're going, so they should continue to fatten up well. Here they go. Look at those excited critters. I'm definitely not being as tight about our grazing as I had in the past, just because we're pretty busy, so they're getting bigger chunks of grass every day, but not that important if you don't care about grazing. Either way, the point is that you can build any life, right? We talk about homework. That is my homework. That is how we've gotten there, just over and over. Practice and work towards that goal of raising our own protein and having this, this life with our kids, with our family that we are aiming for. So, how are we doing, team? Let's just read quick. I usually don't get to do Monday, but I should be able to see you guys and gals tomorrow. Yes, Tim, I love it. What else are we saying? B-boy, you on the road? Miss you already. You guys heading out? Stretching felt good. Nice, Jody. Not on the road yet, but we're leaving soon. Where are you guys off to? Lovita, thanks for joining us this morning. All right, so before we run off, remember, if you want to support this channel, thumbs up button is number 1. Number 2, subscribe if you haven't. And then probably the best way, if you really want to support us, hit that join button below the screen, and we'd love your support. We'd love you to join the team. There might be some members only videos that go up there eventually. Either way, love you guys. Going back to Oklahoma. All right, have a good trip, dude. Everybody, have yourselves a fantastic day. I love you guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Peace.